decided to come here. And then they came over and looked at their space. Their space then was being remodeled. And Ellen, really not a shrinking violet, so, and having designed many spaces for her own house and her children's this and that and so forth, just loves to do it, get out the graph paper or whatever and make, scale size pieces of furniture and move them around and all of that. She moved right in. No, that window shouldn't be there. You need a little more space here between the this and that. I really would like to have a bow window. Not just me. Anybody that lives in this place should have a So see, they changed this thing all around according to her plans.
Well, these were each a studio. They were 2 studios, 1-room studio with a bath.
Wow.
And this one was not popular because it faces north, and it was too dark. And so they had people move out to other places here because it was too dark. So I just happened on the day they were coming down here, Michael, who's the CEO, and the head builder, and Dorothy Savory, who's a housing person. I'd looked at what they had and I really didn't like it very much. One was either on the main streets, too sunny. I'd had people tell me they moved out, it was so hot. I have air conditioning anyway. And so she said, well, maybe you'd like to come down and see, we've just decided to start on doing one more, a 2-bedroom, a 2-room apartment. So I did. So I was in on the ground floor. So I got my name first on the list. And Michael said, well, I think we should have a pocket door right there. I said, that's a fantastic idea and it's the right place for it. And then we talked about light, what could make this place lighter. And Dorothy Savory suggested this door with another window, because that made another whole space. And Michael said, well, I think that's a good idea. Well, Mark said, well, I'll have to make a stoop. I remember he called it a stoop, because we're off the ground enough, about 2 steps. He said, I could do one, like 4x4 or something like that. Well, I said, why don't you do it about 6x8, and then it's big enough I could put a couple chairs out there and have a little deck. Well, he said, I could do that. Doesn't cost much more. Is that okay, Michael? And he said, sure, I think that's a good idea. Have it multi-purpose. They do it everywhere now. Mm-hmm. So then he said, well, what do you think about having skylights in the roof? And I said, Michael, I think if you had skylights, and you had to go up through the what do you call them?
The peak.
No.
Up through the
gables?
No.
The
what holds
joist.
the roof up?
Joist. The joist.
The beams.
What holds the roof up?
I'll come back to it. Anyway, you weaken the roof.
Yeah.
It's like this with lots of things that the framework. It's not a cathedral ceiling, like it would be just the roof.
The ties. Whatever. Floor joists.
We get it.
Strings.
2x4s.
2 by something.
I'll come back to it. Anyway, I said, Michael, if we did that, you'd have to go up through the plank, and that would weaken the roof, and then you just have a beam of light that came down like this. But I said, I think it'd be better if we had a bow window or a bay window, then you get the light from 3 directions. He says, that is better. He said, that's much better. He said, Dorothy, why don't you, Dorothy's one of ordering, why don't you find out what it would cost to build a bay window? I think it's a very good idea. That would really bring light in here. So I do, I get some sun, and I get some sun the first and the end of the day. I've almost got it.
So you haven't been here 13 years. You were over at the other house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, up here.
Here, probably what,
Yeah.
7?
Mm-hmm.
In these 2 rooms? 7 years now?
7 years, it's 7 years the 1st of April.
Okay.
We're pretty close.
Didn't you also go, when they started to build Ludy's place, didn't you go over there and tell them to change the design a
I
little
made
bit?
one suggestion, I should have made it long ago, is because when you put these 2 rooms together, they had 4 windows. So they wanted to put the wall between them, starting between 2 windows and across like this. But the thing that was so absurd about it was, in that way, it meant the living room, and where they had 8 and then had a pathway to the deck, was the smallest room.
Yeah, right.
And then they had this great big bedroom.
Yeah.
And I finally said to Michael, in fact, I drew it up.
Oh, God.
See?
I took this little, they called it Advanced Clothing Design, a course at the university, which was a summer program. That was the hardest course I ever took. Clary said it was drafting, really was drafting, and I probably spent 7 or 8 hours a day. This was a summer course, outside of class, making all these scale drawings, but that was the most fun. I'm so glad I did it. But anyway, where were we?
You were over here, the wall down the middle, the bedroom's too big.
And what I drew up for Michael was, I said, if you had a wall that came out from this is the outside wall. You came between the two windows, but you only came out about 4 feet, like that. And then you dropped back at least 4 feet, and then you'd have that whole big jog in the living room rather than in the bedroom. You'd have a little 2-window space here that anyone could have a desk or something nice there. And so what they did was they took out one of the windows,
Yeah, that's good.
and put in an air conditioner, and then they moved the wall back. There's just one window in the bedroom, but the wall is moved way back. So you got a nice sized living room, much better, much better. At least 4 feet, must be 8 feet wide, at least maybe 10. So that's a lot of extra space. Space for a sofa or anything like that. Anyway, so he said, well, I don't know. I spoke to him about it, and nothing happened. So of course I had to draw it up and have it on his desk.
I like how her
That's right.
kitchen is really open to the room.
Yeah.
Very nice, and the granite countertops.
Yeah.
And
But
She
you
has
know,
a
they
granite
have-
countertop over there?
yeah, you should see it.
They had a big thing about having it
It's
open.
open, I think.
I happen to like mine closed because it gives me all that wall space on both sides.
Well, yours is quite small.
Yeah.
Is hers bigger, kitchen, or no?
Well, she has that extra space where we step that wall back in her kitchen
Seems
too.
like it's bigger.
Hers is bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Hers is that.
Yeah.
Well, at least that much
Yeah,
bigger.
I'd love to live in that place.
Hey, well, sign up.
In a few years.
Don't rush it
See,
though.
Emily
No
needs
need to
Bessie,
rush
you
it.
can have this one all the way.
Don't rush it.
You could go over and take a look at it if you
Well,
want.
you know what is incredible is the movie room.
Yeah,
I
we
guess
have a
just-
movie room.
I was noticing new colors and stuff in that. All of a sudden I came upon this room. There are 20 gorgeous leather round chairs.
Yeah.
Kind of all one by one and a few rows. Nice juxtapositions.
Yeah.
Looking at this huge big screen.
Yeah.
Do they use it?
It's just brand new.
It's just brand
Hasn't
new.
started yet.
It's right next to the billiard room.
Yeah, right
And
next.
it smells so good in there because of all the leather and just neat colors and all. There's, you've got your gold color in there too.
Everybody hates that color.
They do. They just.
Everybody
aren't with
made
it.
all kinds of comments. I should tell
It's called
David.
a mustard yellow.
It's mustard yellow,
Yeah.
but he didn't call it
Then
that.
it's
He
got
called
that
it.
nice green in there.
He called it something closely related to a baby. So
Oh.
that's what they called it.
That's
That's what it looks
not.
like.
That's not good marketing.
Anyway, there's some people that like it. Probably Lindsay thought that it was mustardy.
I liked it.
You liked it.
Yeah, well, I like the whole room.
Yeah.
I would.
And then across from that, we have the happenings room that's new. Well, it's been open
Yeah,
maybe
it's
6 months.
similar to the one up here.
But there's also what they call the cozy corner, and that's another little living room for small spaces when families come. Because we have our own space. but
We could have gone out there, I suppose.
well, we could have.
But we
When
wanted
will
to.
you? When
We
will you?
just want to protect you. We don't
Yeah, I
want
know.
anybody saying, "Oh, there's Ellen. Let's go see her." No.
When will you see Dr. Sobelson again?
I don't know. I don't know that he told me.
Oh.
The hospice is going to come by what, twice or once a week?
They come twice or 3 times a week or whatever I need.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what they did, which I think is fantastic. His male nurse came over. His name's Eric, and did vital signs and stuff like that. Would that anyone you have such good blood pressure